So, did his dad do it? The latest from podnews.net with AdvertiseCast.
For a long time, I had a sinking feeling that my dad had someone killed.
Alex Estrada has a question to ask in a new podcast from Sonoro and Tenderfoot TV. Was his dad involved in a murder? 50 years after a 34-year-old man was killed, The Estate blends true crime and family memoir to look at the complicated legacy we're left with when people die. It's out tomorrow. No, says Spotify, you can't upload your own 30-second track and make $1,200 a month by listening to it on repeat. That's not quite how our royalty system works, says Daniel Ek, responding to an investor. In the UK, the Audio Production Awards 2023 are open for entry. You've just over a week to get your entries in. The awards are organised by Audio UK, the trade body which champions and supports independent audio production businesses. Who's a fan of appearing on podcasts? Why, none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. After a number of interviews about his forthcoming book, he says, I've been impressed with every podcast host so far. They ask questions I've never thought about. They all have their own unique focus. They feel more like a deep conversation than an interview. They're real. We link to his newsletter in full today. Dub Crime is an interesting new project on Kickstarter. It's an app that, with permission, translates true crime podcasts from across the world into the English language. And Lemonada Media has signed with award-winning podcast Everything Happens with Kate Bowler for ad sales and distribution. Meanwhile, Cumulus Media expanded their partnership with Rich Eisen's podcast network. And in podcast news, some people thought that sheep used to grow from trees. There's a hotel in Las Vegas that accidentally shoots heat rays at poolside guests. And a new form of water in the 1960s set off a Cold War arms race. The Constant, a history of getting things wrong, focuses on the always fascinating ways people mess things up. It's from the Airwave Podcast Network, and we thank them for their support. During Hispanic History Month, Law and Order Me Some Tacos shines a spotlight on extraordinary individuals whose stories resonate with the Latinx experience in the world of law. Hooked on Freddy is new from Wondery and Blanchard House, the gripping and controversial real-life story of a dolphin called Freddy who visited Amble in Northumberland in the UK. And KJZZ's Word returns for 10th series today. The show features discussion about fiction, non-fiction, poetry, plays, TV and film with those who produce them. This podcast is sponsored by AdvertiseCast. AdvertiseCast connects thousands of podcasts with thousands of advertisers and has been matching podcasts with brands since 2016. Find your fit. Join AdvertiseCast, the premier podcasting network, at advertisecast.com. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe, we're at podnews.net.